salutations. Great day, great day. I was sitting earlier today, just thinking, what should I do? And I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to give you guys a little information on parenting because I know this day and age, parenting is one of those things that it take a village. I like to tell my sons, being a parent is like owning a car. It's going to take multiple individuals to keep it running proper. So, and the shade tree mechanics is when you continue to get breakdowns, and eventually you'll have to put it in a certified shop, and the result from that will be a fixed, I guess a decent running child for the most part. But um, so when I originally started with parenting, I took a course years ago. I took a course, and the course consisted of three different styles of parenting. It was authoritarian, authoritative, permissive was the three. Now you have four, and the fourth one is neglectful. So what happens is that you have different things that derive from different things, if it makes sense. Like one from two equals one. So you know my basic understanding of the parenting styles are the authoritarian is this is gonna be the one I can kind of say I use some of the skills that's associated with this. Is going to be like the one that set the rules, the enforcer. He kind of has zero understanding with what the child thinks or what the child's feelings are. Uh, they they're not attached to the social and emotional behavior of the child. So it's just something that happens. But I said I use some of those. I didn't say I use them all. And then you have the authoritative. That's the parent that solves the problems. That's mommy. That's mama bear. That's mama bear. She solves the problems. She's the one that you can go to, and you could talk to her about the stuff that dad don't want to talk about, or dad don't think is associated with your actions from what you're doing. So usually moms are authoritative. Then you have the permissive parent. This is the one that's child driven. This is the one that you always see at every game. They got 4 or 5 different things going on. Soccer, football, basketball, baseball, hockey ball, air ball, tennis ball, anything associated with just doing for a child, keeping a child occupied with multiple things so that they focus can't be on the most important thing, which would be someone giving you that nurturing support that you need. Like, I guess it's like it's an overcompensation for something. So they rarely give orders, rarely give rules. There's no punishment. And one thing that they are big with teaching their children to have zero conflict. So they will teach their child to run and hide, or walk away, or just they. Now, don't get me wrong when I say give them the parking space type of situation, but some situations you just give them the parking space. So at the end of the day, it's like permissive parents teach their children just to be the one to give the parking space away. Just let them have it. You can just get somewhere to park at. You can find somewhere else to park. It's 1,000 parking spots in here. So it's like, and then now you have what they call the neglectful. So the neglectful, for some strange reason, has the same associations as like authoritarian. Like they have zero understanding for conflict resolution. They're present they're uninvolved and they're absent at the same time, if that makes sense. Or they're uninvolved, absent, and present at the same time, if that makes sense for you. Like, so um, they really don't care too much about no social skills, no emotional behavior development, none of the things above or beyond. So there's just zero with that situation right there. Now, the parenting styles that I'm speaking about, I can go a little more into depth. It'll be like part one, part two, and part three, and so on and so forth. But for the most part, I'm just giving you like just a brief of what I have knowledge of and the reason why I handle some of the situations in my children's life the way I handle them. So that'd be basically uh, something right there. Like, this is not something that I just took upon myself to make up and read. This is something I studied because uh, this research is developed by a psychologist named Diana Bermud. If I butchered your name, I apologize. It was developed in the 60s, 1960, and then it was later researched by other psychologists such as Eleanor McCabe and John Martin, and they gave later research that gave a couple of more supporting facts for parenting styles. So, you know, I'm an easy guy. I look at situations and I tell my kids, you have to start with the end in mind. Meaning, if you know that you want to be the supervisor at a place of interest, then you start with supervisor energy when you get there. Start tapping in with major individuals. Be cordial, be respectful of the pecking order, but at the same time, let it be known. Like, go talk to the people. Take your lunch when the upper management is taking their lunch inside of the break room. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that separates you from the average individual inside of the work place. So, I try to give my children insights and information on things that I did for myself personally when I made that transition in life from here to there. So when I say here to there, you should understand what here to there mean. If you know me, if you know of me, if you Googled me, however you researched me, I have a history. Everybody have a history, because without a history, there's no present. So, and it's my story. That's why it's called his story, because it's his story. So whatever story I choose to give you, that's what it'll be. But for the most part, my parenting was single home parent raised. My mom is a practicing psychiatrist, and she's been for the last 20 plus years. She's in the ministry. Her name is Dr. Morris. She's the West Coast overseer of church organizing. So, it has a title. She wear the white collar. She did her stuff. She's one of God's servants. So at the end of the day, I kind of understood her upbringing and how she did certain things and what she did. But when I got older to evaluate her parenting, my mom was a permissive, because she barely whooped us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she like when them down. She went them country city folk women, like they gonna beat you, but it's gonna take like 10 things to get beat. But when they beat you, they gonna beat you. So yeah, sparing the rod and spoiling the child is not what went in my house. So at the end of the day, she was permissive because she involved us in a lot of things. Like, I could play the drums, partially the piano. I could sing a little bit. I could write. I'm extremely linguistics. I'm tied into all my articulations. You know what I'm saying? She made education a very important thing, regardless of me being in the streets or not. She still told us to go to school and learn, because education was something that they can't take from you, Moses. She like, no matter where they put you, no matter what they say or do, they can't take your education. So put something in your brain, make your brain worth something. That's what she always say. Make your brain worth something. So, Yeah, but that's pretty much my take on those parenting styles. So you could look it up, look into it. I'm gonna put some information on my next one, part one. It'll be conducive to this one right here. It'll be at the link, and it'll be at the bottom of the link. You'll have some information you can Google and look into different styles. Like one thing I do know, man, and I'm gonna tell you, like, this is new to me, so you gotta just go with the flow, and you know, it's one of them things to where you start to figure stuff out. You start to get it. You get your niche, and you just do it. So if me giving you information that was fitting for me and it was extremely beneficial for the betterment of my children and my family and my well-being, I'm definitely going to share it with you. Like that. That's what life is about. Life is about growing, and in the growing, it's the learning part. And in learning, you be able to teach. Because in order to teach, you have to be able to understand, and without understanding, you gain no knowledge. So everything go like tandem. It's like a bicycle with two seats and two sets of wheels. Like when you get tired, you can pick your feet up. I'll do the pedaling, And in me doing the pedaling, I my expectations are high for you if I'm doing the pedaling and you're just riding. So at the end of the day, feel like this relationship right here is like a tandem bicycle. I'm doing all the leg work. I'm doing all the footwork. And all you're doing is just riding. And at some point in time, I'm going to ask you, can you pedal? So I can rest my legs, And then that's when, metaphorically speaking, when I get to see if what I'm telling you really works, if it's really profitable for you mentally. Like Dr. Morris taught me a lot of stuff. And one of the most important things that she taught me about protecting your mind. In one of my dark times in my life, she would tell me, protect your mind, Moses, protect your mind, because if you don't have your mind, you don't have nothing. Like, with no self-control, you lose your soul. That's her favorite thing. So, I have boundaries, and in boundaries, you have to have provision. So, I took the time to better myself, to educate myself, to bring my skill level higher, and that's why I took parenting. So, it's several different classes that I took to make me a better individual, just based upon who I am and what I have in my life. Because when you start to take into consideration the things that you have around you, you start to play the game a little different. So, for the most part, conflict resolution was a very big part of my life. Uh, just giving the win away sometimes is more rewardful than actually winning to me. So at the end of the day, um, I'm gonna always stay in my lane. That's what I practice. That's what I preach. That's what I teach my children. You mind your own, you'll live long. So, you know, just continue to grow. Be motivated by validation. I know a lot of people like to say, I don't need to be validated. I don't need nobody to tell me I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I can see myself. I know they always say, why you make that face when you talk? Because that's how people be looking when they be being boastful and bragging. They think they be looking nice and handsome and cute. And they be, oh, you got you know how they voice always change that. Can't tell me nothing. Man, stop that. Keep that same energy, man. Like, but anyway, back to what I was saying. Like, yeah, like, stop doing that. Don't do that. You do. Validation brings motivation. Okay, so point proven right here. When I did this initial podcast, I didn't get the response that I was looking for. Hey, that's life. But when I woke up the next morning, the response that I was looking for, it was there. So, in all essence, you know, just be patient and just do your part. So, at the end of the day, always make sure that you're doing the great things and, doing your best and just trying to just be who you are and what you are to your fullest capability. Like, it's like holding your breath underwater. Can't stay there forever. So, just look in the mirror at the end of the day and always tell yourself, I mean something in this world. Remember that, man. Thank you for being you. Thank you for understanding yourself. Thank you for not doubting yourself. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for listening. And I hope that I said something that could resonate in your soul and leave a stain on your brain that make you remember. Let me get it together. Because the one thing I know for certain and for sure, the day will end at the end of the day. Y'all have a good evening, man. Be blessed.
You tell me you love me, you tell me you need me, but when we get to it, you tell me you're leaving me. But just the thought of you walking out that door, it's scary.